Shalom, giving all praise to YAHAWASHI, QADASH, Shalom to the hopefully left out here. And I'm going to entitle this video, Vocab Malone and his Gentile argument. Anyway, this is a current live, so I'm going to make this real short so you can watch the rest of this. You can bring it back or whatever. Where am I? Okay, this is minus 132, 133, so I'm right here at minus 337. So let's listen, and I'll come back and I'll say a few words, filter through the scriptures.
But now they're starting to intermarrying with this, and some people say it's a reconstituting Israel. Really, it's just probably, as far as genetically, as far as just to be more confusing, mixing, matching, because like, you always have legitimacy in this, and some people say it's a reconstituting environment of Jews who left the Iraq and was right like Americans. Yeah, but in Israel, it works a lot for this movie. Not actually Semitic in any way, but they live in Israel claiming to be Semitic, and there they are, and there's probably 5,000 of them. Amari Stoudemire, who's a friend of me, works a lot for this movie, produced a video on Village of Peace. So they're in Israel, and Israel is even granted them to build, now they're in IDF. But if you look at their history, they came from the south side of Chicago. They're Black Americans, And so they're in Israel as well. And now they're blended into the society. So not just only Russian Jews and Ukrainian Jews, right? You have people who have left Iraq, people who left Yemen, you have a lot who have left Iran. They've left these places that they become less hospitable to Jews. A lot of them went into Israel, and they look like all kinds of things, usually the cultural environments that came out of it. But now they're starting to intermarry and all this, and some people say it's a reconstituting of Israel. Really, it's just probably, as far as genetic or as far as just to be more confusing, mixing, matching, because like, you always have legitimacy and Semitic DNA present at some degree or another based on every test that I've seen. Interesting. Well, thank you, brother. Hey, look, you're a fascinating character, man, I gotta say, and this was a very interesting topic. I rarely discuss this, but if it weren't for the recent article that I read on Dr. Jason Staples, who actually makes an argument on Genesis or Revelation, jumping in 2 books that I'm not even sure. Romans 9-11, where he talks about a fresh look at the Gentiles, he makes the case that the
Romans 9-11, meaning Romans chapter 9 to chapter 11. And he goes into the Gentile thing, Gentile argument. Romans chapter 9 speaks about the Gentiles, which when you read it, it's actually talking about Israelites and the living among the Gentiles, losing their identity. And then Romans 11 speaks about the Gentiles being grafted in. The Gentiles being grafted in are the Israelites to begin with. So let's listen to a little bit more.
The fullness of the Gentiles, and then all Israel shall be saved, is actually a reference.
Fullness of the Gentiles be come in are the Israelites among that scattered among the Gentiles that think that they're the Gentiles. They're going to come in. So you're going to have chosen that's going to come out of Israelites that don't necessarily know that they were Israelites, that were not born in an Israelite family, for lack of a better way of saying it. Like the multitude in Revelation 7, verse 9.
Fulfilling the lost tribes of Israel concept by Paul in the New Testament, which was like radical, like who thinks that? There's like 4 major views. And I know that Dr. Heiser comments on this view as well. So I came across your video, and I was like, you gotta check this guy out. And I said, let me get him on for sure to talk about this. And I didn't know the world of this kind of topic of Black Hebrew Israelites was this complex and this full of stuff. Maybe we can set up a debate at some time where I don't know if there's a topic we can go into the ethnic side biblically, arguing.
See, these guys want to set up debates to try to convince us that we're not the people. Where you just heard Vocab said there's such a mixture of different nations that really he should have just said, we don't know who we are. Oh, and I'll go with that. So if you're an Israelite on your father's side, no matter what you look like now, you're going to be delivered. The Most High, Amos 9 speaks about the sifting, Israel being sifted So you're gonna have Israelites looking like Edomites. You're gonna have Israelites with blonde hair and blue eyes looking like a white man. You're gonna have Israelites looking like Moabites. You're gonna have Israelites looking like Ishmaelites, looking like Japanese. So here they come with the debate, and now I guess Priest Alazar can go ahead and have a debate with him, but it's not going to go nowhere because you're not going to convince us of anything. You clearly don't know the scriptures.
Where you can make a case where you think it's broad in the New Testament, to opening up to more than just biological sin. I don't know if that's a tough.
It ain't going to happen, and that'll be an easy debate because the only ones that receive salvation are the Israelites. I'll give you one precept, basic one, a simple one. Matthew 10:5-6. You can actually read the whole chapter, Matthew 10. Matthew 10:5-6, the Lord clearly states, don't go among the Gentiles and don't go among the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we can close the book. We can close the book on that. Oh, what about John 3:16? That's cosmos. It means the Israelites.
Maybe you know what? Maybe one of these, maybe one of the Israel only guys. But check this out. When it comes to debating Hebrew Israelites on the topic of can Gentiles be saved, right? I don't like it. Here's what.
Gentiles can be saved if their line goes back on their father's side, goes back to Israel. Cornelius, for example, would be considered a Gentile, but Cornelius was actually an Israelite. Timothy's father was called a Greek, but he was actually an Israelite. He didn't accept the fact that he was an Israelite. In their mind, it's granting their number one, and I'm just going to print here, their number one self-delusion, which is, I'm an Israelite. They think the debate is Vocab is trying to work his way into salvation. That's exactly what you're doing, man. You came to the conclusion that you're a Gentile, whether you're Edomite or whatever the hell you are. If you came to the conclusion in your mind that you are a Gentile, so your mission is to somehow find a scripture that allows Gentiles in, because you already know that Most High set up his son to be a savior for the sons of Israel. That's it. So there's no way. That's why you bring up the argument about Cornelius. Cornelius is an Israelite. Timothy is an Israelite.
People who are like it. That's not what's happening. I don't think the person I'm debating when they're a Hebrew Israelite is Hebrew or an Israelite. So I'm not granting that the discussion is about whether I get salvation and they already get it. But so I don't like those debates because I think it grants a key assumption for them. They view the argument as an Israelite versus a Gentile. That's feeding into the delusion that we've been doing.
Why do you call it delusion when there's such a mixture of Israelites? All how do you know who? Did you check my DNA? And the DNA that whole DNA science is bullshit. We don't go by that DNA science. Watch the video that the elder Vegas did. He recently did on the DNA. With Dr. Brown bringing up that DNA bullshit.
What if I got an idea just to throw this out there. I respect that. You know, I'm not here to I don't like stirring up. And I want to debate that all the time. But I told when a Hebrew like coaches with that to say, no, let's do this. Let's do a debate where you have to prove that you are an Israelite. Not black people are Israelites, not Hispanics. You are an Israelite. That's challenging their number one assumption about their religion.
So now we got to prove who we are. Let's just say this. Let's wait until the Most High comes, the Lord comes down and deliver us, and we'll find out. So just have a little patience, because you're going to be found out to be wrong. Dr. Brown ain't going to jump up and say any goddamn thing when the Lord comes back, and your ass and we get beamed up, and your ass is on there looking up in amazement, and then seeing fire coming down on your ass. The best thing you can do is run your ass back to Israel or Italy or Sicily or Germany. And then we'll just put your ass in slavery. You don't got to suffer the missiles.
Bring your DNA paperwork and make sure that whatever evidence they want to use.
Motherfucker DNA. Motherfucker a DNA. We don't deal with no goddamn DNA. DNA is bullshit. DNA is some bullshit. That's Esau's science, man. It's some bullshit, man. Wasn't Dr. Brown and Apostle Ramloff did a video on this the other day concerning Dr. Brown with the DNA. We found out that the DNA goes back to the 1st century AD, and that our line goes back to those Jews. Don't you know you had Edomites that were going around saying that they were Jews? The Herodian dynasty, that family of the Herodians, the Herodian family, the Herods. They went around saying that they were the people. They were not the people. They were not the people. They were Edomites playing Jews.
They can use. I wasn't the group. They sitting in the chair on the right, they are Israelites. Because they cannot do it. They cannot do it. It becomes an insane speculative journey into the realm of maybes. Okay, then let me ask you this.
Yeah, you can say maybe. You can say maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'm an Israelite. Maybe they're wrong. But you're gonna find out when like I said, when YAHAWASHI comes back with the angels and take this motherfucking place out. If you're an Edomite, you can get burnt up. If you're of any other nation, you're gonna get burnt up. If you happen to be an Israelite, vocab, you still gonna get burnt up because you're a fake, phony Israelite, man. You're not a real Israelite. You're not of the elect. You're not a prophet. You're a demon.
Instead of a discussion, not a debate.
Not a debate. First of all, he said a debate. Now we're gonna have a discussion. Look, we've been discussing this bullshit with you since fucking 2016, vocab. We ain't having no more fucking discussions, man. The reason why these guys keep buzzing around is because you allow them in your motherfucking house. I'll just sit down and have a discussion. There ain't nothing to discuss, man. Like this chick, you ain't feeling it no more. Let's sit down and have a discussion. Let's go to the marriage counselor. And you say, look, bitch, I don't want to get back with you. But I don't want to get back with you. It's done. I don't want to fuck you, ho. I don't want to be with your bitch ass no more. Well, guess what? We don't want to be with your bitch ass no more. We don't want to deal with you no more. We just talk about you for edification's sake. Because anything you say doesn't faze us, man. Dr. Brown, just go somewhere and sit down.
Hey, I mean, I got some friendly friends that are Israel only. They don't believe anyone after 70 AD has a stake in this game. They have a view that, listen, this is for Israel only, and when they say all Israel, they mean Judah and Israel, north and south. The new covenant was made for these two houses only, and
true, absolutely. It's only made for these two houses only.
They'll argue saying, look, I'm not putting myself into the narrative. I don't believe that I am an Israelite. This is the way they'll approach it. But they'll try to argue that salvation is only for. What do you debate around the narrative?
There's nothing to argue. It's in the scriptures. There's nothing to argue. There's nothing to argue.
What do they? I've never put words in their mouth, but I suspect they have different views, particularly because I've been trying to dig this out. But I know that usually in the Old Testament, salvation to them, or their perception is saving from their enemies, so to speak. This kind of that's its offense. So they think these promises, the Israelites need to be saved from them. And so they think these promises have been fulfilled for the future. They believe it ended in 70, so yeah, they believe everything found its fulfillment, even if it was spiritualized, or even if they take a fictional approach on the New Testament. That's according to the narrative, according to the story. whatever you want to say, and however it happened, whether it literally happened or not, the narrative ended at 70. And therefore, you're trying to put yourself into the narrative when the end happened at the temple's destruction, Matthew 24, Luke 21.
That's eschatology. Look that up. Everything in the scriptures are fulfilled in 70 AD. I'll use the word 70 AD. But did Revelation fulfilled in 70 AD? That's a question for those students of eschatology, because John received those revelations sometime in 96, 97, 98 AD. So we're talking 30 years. Hell, 70, 80, 90, 30 years. 30 years after 70 AD. So that's garbage. That eschatology bullshit is garbage. Throw it in the garbage.
Mark 13, and they'll go and say the synoptic apocalypse is the same apocalypse that John is talking about, and it's the same parousia, if you will, ending of the Pauline corpus. So, but they have a harmonizing tool where they try to say pretty much it's full preterism combined with what's called Israel, and here you have the theory. But I wanted to know if you'd be interested in having a discussion. I know you're a debater, but like a discussion, even just to hear them out. I'm sure you're having a questions, for example, what exactly is salvation in this rubric? Because if you're saying it's salvation from your enemies, yet they're including New Testament data, there's some disconnect, right, to me. And maybe some of the things, so let me know. Let's get some conversation. Last comment. We got it on the screen. Anyone more next? What is this shade? Not for Israelites? Not sure. Thank you for the donation again. That I can say. I'm not sure, but I suspect this is to you. Do you have a response? Which thing? Oh, I mean, I see Dana. I see she's anthropologist, Chicago, and whatever. What do they want me to see? I guess they're stating that she has poor scholarship in the field of ethnic issues. I'm down to do these things, but I believe in scholarship and care about that. But I'm also into certain populism. What I mean by this, I'll talk to people who are obscure viewers or whatever. But sometimes I get these conversations, and they want me to talk to these people who aren't even believers.
Get with those people and leave us the fuck alone.
Now, the one person about Dante Person, he certainly, of course, you assume not talk about. But like some of these people, they're as far as what's happening in Hebrew Israel in the cities and in America, not exactly relevant. Doesn't mean I'm talking. There's always stuff to learn, and that's all good. I'm open to suggestions. But a lot of times people say talk to the person, they mean they can find them, call them. Hey, if you really think we need to talk, help set it up. Whoever the person, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, just like, maybe you can help set it up. Like, I'm not going to track down your recommend, help me set it up and all that. I'd be cool. I understand what those beliefs on some stuff. I've been there, trust me, and respect you and thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being patient too. I mean, I see a lot of people who don't like you or may not agree with you. That's okay. We're going to disagree on things. I mean, me and you, if we really dug into what I think and what you think, we would disagree, and that's okay. But like, hey, you're on the channel, man. You're on a skeptic channel, bro, right now. Like it's we're human beings, and I really do appreciate you coming on, giving me the chance. I'm sure you saw some of the videos I've had on previous in my phone. What kind of show is this? You know what I mean? But thank you for joining me. Thank you, everybody who's gave super chats. I really appreciate that. It helps me out. And thank you, man. You got anything you'd like to say to everyone before we get off here? No, quick. Osiris 777. What is it with you? Investors believe that black eagles being in chariots, which actually sometimes just
all throughout the scriptures, but you can't see it. because you're not an Israelite. You're an Edomite until you prove otherwise.
It's like UFOs are signs of them. These are a reminder of the coming migration of the United States. That's it.
They shall enter into the house of the thief. Zechariah 5.
Thank you, and thank you, Net Vision podcast fans. I see a lot of your fans have come in here. People said thank you for having me on the show. 82D2, thank you. Thanks a lot, brother. Next time, maybe we can touch on some other specifics. If you think of anything in particular, I would like to have you come back. I wouldn't mind hosting a debate. If you come up with something and you're interested and we need a host, hey, I got the power to mute people. So, you know, we can keep this thing in control. I am neutral. It's not like I favor you or favor them. At the end of the day, I'll have disagreements with both of you guys. We'll probably have a lot in common. So, I really do appreciate you, man. And thanks for joining me here at Net Vision.
Good night, devils. Okay, with that, I'm going to say shalom.